Hey, good morning, everybody. Been a couple of days. I apologize for the delay in getting back or coming on live, guys. I had every intent of coming on yesterday, and then I had some phone issues. As you guys know, I posted that up, but those have been resolved, and thankfully and gratefully, it's back up and running and doing what it's supposed to be doing. Weekend was awesome. And as you guys know, it started with good morning, Paula. Good morning, Kathy. Good morning, David. What's up, guys? Courtney, good morning. So with Friday, Christmas party, just awesome day. And I've been so blessed. I really have been so blessed because I've been able to spend so much time with friends and family, dinners and lunches, and dancing, and this whole month has just been awesome. And I only hope that you guys have been able to do the same. It's Christmas, it goes by so fast, and I think that we go from summer to fall, and then all of a sudden, poof, it's just doof, and all the dominoes fall. But it's just great to be able to embrace the season and to be able to share it with family. That's my favorite. The shopping, I'm not a big shopper. I'm really not. I never really was with it. And I tell everybody my gift to you is that you don't have to buy me a present. My gift, your gift to me is that I don't have to buy you a present. We just spend some time together. And that's really what it's been about. It's been so precious to me. Creating all these bonds and all these friendships with everybody and seeing all the smiling faces and all the love and the joy and the happiness. And, even if it's just a text that we share, you can just sense that exuberance, and that family and that connectedness that I'm always talking about. It's just so great. Good morning, Anna. Tell Josh I said hi. So we had a Christmas party on Friday, and then Saturday, and that was great. And you guys saw that. It's just so much fun. And if you guys didn't get to have a Christmas party at all, I do need a red sweatshirt. I need it. I know I miss you guys too. I'll get a red sweatshirt. Figure it out. Hey, I think I do. It's a little bit ratty, but it's got Raiders on it. It's my football team, but I'll get it. I'll bust that one out. This is the only one I think I've got that's red for the season. But, and one of the things too to remember is that everything comes so quickly, right? It's always, it's before we know it, it's Christmas Eve. And I think it's really, really, really important for us to not get in panic mode and stressed out mode. Nothing is that serious that if you don't get that present right, if you don't get that electric game or whatever it is, my kid's going to be, well, no, let's make our kids that they're the type of kids, they don't care if they don't get that, let's make our kids strong enough to understand that, if their friends, they're not even in school for their friends to mock them out if they didn't get that stuff, which I don't know what kind of friends those are that they would, hey, Rosalind, good morning, what's up, Chantel, what's going on, good morning. Let's hope our kids are strong enough to not be impacted by, peer pressure. But they're not even in school, so I don't know how they're getting this peer pressure anyways. But good morning, Jennifer. And I think that, the parents that I see that do the best job are the ones that are like, yeah, no, I'm really getting back to basics this year. They're like, I used to spend $500, $1,000 per kid. What it was like, what? It's crazy. And they're like, yeah, it's just going to be basics, and we're going to have fun together, and we're going to be singing, we're going to be dancing, and getting back to family. And they're like, I'm really paying attention to what it is my kids love. Good morning, Bill. Merry Christmas, brother. Love you too, man. Good morning, Paul. I think I said good morning. But you're getting back to basics like that is everything. And so many people that I know are baking now for Christmas and the holidays. And, I've seen people doing woodworking. I'm like, wow. Some of the people that I see doing the woodworking and having the furniture, even the little signs that they're made, just so impressive. And just getting really back to basics with Christmas. Now, one of the things that, I've been blessed to do is, like I said, going out for dinner. And I try to make sure that I'm present with, whomever I'm with. And of course, there's all the meetings that are taking place. But the other night, Kim and I were coming back, and it said that, and we were talking about, and there was a parade of vehicles coming down. And I was like, oh, no way. So I got out of the vehicle, and I start running, and I go, and I'm like, okay, there's all the trucks there, all the vehicles are there. And I'm like, this is incredible. And so I go and I'm like, hey, what's up? And hitting my heart, and thank you so much for this, and thank you so much for that. And they had the police cars that are going by, and they had, the fire trucks, and the police car was all decorated with everything on top of it. Hey, Dan, good morning. Kathy, what's up? Brian, what's going on? Greg, what's up? Carrie, everybody. So they had the police car all decorated with the, all the Christmas decorations, and it was super tall. And the fire trucks were going by, and Santa was on top. It was awesome. Yeah, Chinese food. There was the Chinese food, absolutely. It was good. I'm still eating leftover Chinese food. I had had Chinese food months and months and months and months. It was crazy. So just a great night. Seeing them coming home and just watching, and they do that every year. It's Forks Fire Department, and I think they have 2 locations. They got a substation right over here. And good morning, Mark. Great to see you, brother. And they got a little substation here, and they always do a great job. Halloween, they put everything out, and they weren't going to let anything stop them. And they went up and down. It's a pretty big neighborhood, and they take a while, and they go nice and slow. And so if all the kids hear it, and they get a chance to come running out. All the kids were coming out, and they were running out. It was just great. So love that, absolutely love it. And it just makes you feel good, right? You're seeing all the houses decorated for Christmas. And it seems to me like there's a few more houses decorated this year than ordinary. But the one thing, those like LED lights, they're like, they hurt your eyes, right? I don't know what's up with that. Hopefully they can get that fixed and addressed, make them a little bit softer. You see some of them that are softer, but man, some of them, you know what I'm talking about. You see those blues, just some of the blues used to be my favorite. Those soft blues, I would put on the Christmas tree. So, and you just sit there. I would sit there and just watch it and stare at it. And I could do that for hours and hours, listening to the jazzy Christmas music. And I think that's the big thing about what I'm trying to, emphasize here with the holiday. Slow it down, really. And even after, New Year's week, slow it down. Don't even worry about it. Whatever you got going on, it's not going to matter. You don't give yourself that anxiety. Don't put that pressure on yourself. Just breathe. No, I got this. Breathe. And take a walk around the neighborhood. I've been taking walks around the neighborhoods, and I think that's the first time I've ever done it in my life, is to walk around the neighborhoods and just take a look at all the Christmas lights. It's been so much fun. And you just strolling, you're bundled up, and and you notice things that you wouldn't notice ordinarily. So it just feels really, really great. Saturday, we had our tailgate in the square. It was just an awesome day. Really, really great day. It was organized by our group of Kevins, and it was of course as always an intergroup support event. Watchmen were there, Proud Boys were there, thanking the Proud Boys for them showing up. Christina, what's up, sweetheart? Oh, Christine, sorry, hon. Chrissy. I haven't seen your name pop up in so long, hon. Nice to see you. So, Constitutional Coalition was there. We had some marching patriots were there, obviously. Not sure if any of the rolling patriots made it out. It was kind of a busy weekend for everybody, and I think everybody was in a little bit of a slowdown mode. But, just all the speakers that were there, Stefan Mihailu and Dave DiPietro was there, Steve Filano, Robbie De Niro, he did his thing. And I know Ben Carlisle, he's an attorney, he did his thing. Jim Ostrowski, he was up there speaking as well. And then Gene, he took the MC, he did MCing. So it was great. If I missed anybody, there may have been one person I missed. But great speakers, and I got to tell you what, I've watched these guys speak on a bunch of different occasions, and obviously you guys know what happened. Ran a little bit late. When I show up, I always try to do a sweep of everything around the perimeter. I just want to get, and I've done that since March with these people, since April, since they started doing their thing. And I do that to try to just make a determination as to what level the conflict could potentially be that, could arise. And I didn't see many of them. Antifa, meaning them, Antifa. So, I do about a mile perimeter out, and, I try to check some of the parking areas, the known parking areas, parking ramps, if I could get in there, and I've got time. And I kind of would suggest this strongly to you guys as well. Go around, and then, you can always try to message me, or you can message somebody in the Watchmen, what's going on, or even the Proud Boys. And this way you kind of know what to expect. Good morning, John. And what kind of numbers are going to be out there. And what's happening with Antifa and Black Lives Matter, guys, is this. In Western New York Liberation Collective, and now they're calling themselves the Western New York Peace Center. Look at it. If they really want to be peaceful, that's great. If the media wants to push them, hey, good morning, them, good to see you, hon. If the media is going to paint them in this glorious light of just so giving, well, then maybe they'll end up ultimately becoming that way, right? It's insane, though, the way some of the news media outlets portray them and the way they portray us. Just absolutely inexcusable. And I don't want to get into that. You guys know that. How do we combat that? We combat that by doing what we do all the time. Because you know what's going to happen? People are going to be out there, and they're going to see what the Watchmen do. They're going to see what Rolling Patriots, Marching Patriots do. They're going to see what Constitutional Coalition and all the groups, Save Our Seniors, Breathe Free New York, FreeNYS.com, all the groups coming together and doing what we do. Proud Boys. Good morning, Anthony. Good morning, Gary. And as we go, we're going to start to get more and more members. And our networks of people that we have through our Facebook and social media and texting and friends and family, they're going to know what we're about. They will either have been there and seen it, and we're going to have so many people that are going to be able to start calling these media outlets out for their lies, for their outright lies and misrepresentation. And then if we need to, we'll start suing them. We'll ask for retractions, absolutely. But if we need to sue them, we will. If they are defaming anybody, if they're slandering or libelous in any way, then we will absolutely sue them. And the difference now from any other time in the past with these groups is this. We haven't been together. We haven't been united. We haven't been working towards a common goal. Each of us were separate. Each of us were working individually by ourselves, thinking nobody was out there. And it was easy for them to attack us. Now it's not easy for them to attack us, is it? Good morning, Bonnie. Great to see you, sweetheart. Phil, if I said good morning already once, I'm saying it again. So now it's not so easy, is it? Now we got hundreds and hundreds of us that I don't like it. You guys know that. I used to be that guy. You know what I mean? Somebody get in the business, as my buddy Aaron would say, somebody's getting the business, Pete is focused in with his thumbs. I'm like a 12-year-old girl. Like, how do you text that fast? But it's different now. And the other side sees that. And with politicians, Stefan sees it, Jim Ostrowski sees it, Steve Filano sees it, Dave DiPietro. All of these politicians are seeing this. They're seeing that we are finally having a voice and coming together in a real and practical way that matters and has a ton of value. Because what is happening is, what used to happen is these people would do what? The deranged people, the delusional, the unhinged, the psychopaths, the sociopaths. What would they do? Just like they do now. This person's a fascist, this person's a white supremacist, this person's a Nazi, this person hates these people, they do this, they're gun-toting, gun-wielding, And now what happens? We have dozens and dozens or hundreds of people descending on them together collectively and saying, no, that's not the way it happened. Not only that, but we're not playing on the defense anymore. And that's what the left has counted on for so long, us being fractured and fragmented, so that they would always be on the offensive. They were always on the attack, and we would, of course, be on the playing defense. And how many times we've talked about this. I've talked about this with you guys. That's no longer the case. Now we are on the offensive. Not only are we, making sure that we're completely diffusing them, whether it's the media or whether it's some far left, radical leftist organization, like Surge, like One Society, like Push, that are aligned with far leftist extremists within our government. No, in fact, if that's not a fact, prove me a liar. We are in a complete and total lockdown where small businesses are being shut down. Our kids can't go to school. That is fascism and tyranny. And we are no longer content to be like, oh, well, thank God they didn't ask for any more of that. Thank God, they didn't violate our constitutional right anymore. Now we're like, nah. This is where we should be. This is where we are. And we're going to come back to here, but not only are we going to come back to here, we're going to take even more. And we're going to give it back to the people. These government agencies that are bloated, they're done. The press being able to lie and manipulate, they're done. Leftist organizations, radical leftist, terrorist, extremist organizations are done giving money. Radical leftist, terrorist politicians like Poloncarz, like John Flynn, they are done. Gail Bernstein is an appointed position. Cuomo, they are done. They are done stealing, literally, millions and millions from us and disseminating it to their friends, and giving it to their constituents, and giving it to who they see fit, or keeping it for themselves in a general fund. $800,000 of it kept in a general fund, $10,000 going to Mark Odian. Now, we've got eyes on them. Now, not only do we have eyes on them constantly, we are building up. Jason, what's up, brother? PlayStation 5, wait a minute, PlayStation 5. I didn't even know that 3, 4, whatever were there. But now we've got eyes on them everywhere. We've got eyes on the media, and we're recording it. And we're going to get even better. We're at 1% of where our potential is. That's it. We are operating at 1% capacity of where we will end up with all these groups and everything that we're going to end up doing. Media will be forced to tell the truth, because they will start for the first time in forever being held accountable. And they'll be held accountable by demanding retractions and suing them if they misreport. That's just the way it's going to be. Good morning, Joyce. And we are keeping a log and a record and tracking everything that all of these people do. Radical, leftist, terrorist, entities that Mark Odian has and others, they're being tracked every single day. Leftist terrorist individuals who are teachers and working within our government agencies, in leadership positions and in politics, they're being tracked every day. And we are at 1% of our potential. We are going to get better and stronger and smarter with this. And what's going to happen is, just by virtue of us monitoring them and keeping them in check, just like social media, Facebook and everybody controls what you're going to put in a little way, right? With fact checkers and, banning you and doing all this other stuff. All of a sudden, these people are going to be in check. And that starts the process. We're holding them accountable. Now, not only are we going to hold them accountable, but we're taking it back, because the next level is legal and legislative. Monitoring and reviewing all the legislation that's out there legally, and making sure that we are doing everything that we can to not just get a little back. That's not what the left does. The left does this. They go all the way in. They want to be able to murder you, murder our kids, right? And then they'll take what they get. They'll take what they get. And that's how we've gotten so far. And we're going to do the same thing. The same tactics. We've learned from them. Everything that they are doing, we've learned from them. So now they're here. It's not we're going to just try this and try. No. What is right? What is just? What is moral? What is virtue? What is the way that it was intended to be by the New York State Constitution and the U.S. Constitution? And then we go, we go all the way over here. And we'll take this, we'll start with this, but we're not going to be content with that, because this isn't constitutional. This isn't individual liberties and freedoms. Here means that it still can be a corporatocracy, which is what we're living in and residing in. You have these big corporations paying even local officials. Definitely at county level and state level, we see it with polling cars being compensated, and Cuomo, of course, by these big corporations to be able to put policies in place. Everybody asks, well, Pete, how would this all happen? Well, they passed laws and they have their playbook, and you'll see their playbook. They're trying to implement their playbook in Texas right now, right? Erode one freedom after another, and one completely communistic, tyrannical, that's completely anti-American, anti-Constitution, and you'll see them what they've done. You see it here in New York, you see it in California, you see the mass exodus that nobody reports here in New York. Over 1 million people have left. All the big money has left. Cuomo begging them to come back. California, they're failed. They have completely and utterly failed. And it should have never have gotten to this point, but we allowed it to get to this point because, yeah, absolutely. Agreed. Absolutely, Anna. You nailed it. So, we sat by idly, not doing anything. And, they had a plan. And incrementally, they implemented it. New York and California, some of the biggest proving grounds. Michigan, of course. Illinois, of course. Virginia. And then even Seattle and, Washington and Oregon. And you see that these largely conservative states, even New York is a largely conservative state. 3 counties were blue? Something like that. Some ridiculously low number of counties were blue in the entire state. But what do? They hold the governorship, and they hold the DAs, and then they hold some of the sheriff's positions, and they know exactly the positions that they need. And they make it seem, because all those positions are held and occupied, that it's bigger than it is, and that, everybody in the state is leftists. And they're not. So many of our police officers, law enforcement, are not leftists. They're just listening to what their radicalized leadership is telling them. They're people in our government agencies, local governments and things of that nature. They're not really radicalized. There are a lot of teachers, what percentage, I don't know, but there are a lot of teachers that aren't radicalized. A lot of them are. But what do? They set up policies, right? They set up policies. Good morning, Dan. So corporations and small businesses, court systems, schools, they set up policies or community standards, right, that are in clear violation of our rights. And they circumvent having to pass legislation by these different government agencies implementing these policies. It was an end around and a workaround. And the company says, well, this is our policy, this is our community standard, or that government agency says the same thing to school, right? You can't go in and you can't talk at a school board meeting, right? You got to sign in, you only get 1 minute to talk. It's not the way it's supposed to work. You work for us. Excuse me, we're going to handle the meeting the way that we see fit. And, which is constitutionally. Same thing with, the court systems. Court systems not working. It's women sitting by the hundreds across this county, making money, getting paid, not doing anything for it. Schools, the same thing. We have thousands and thousands and thousands of employees in schools that aren't doing anything. There are a ton of teachers who are doing a lot at home, fighting and working to make sure they're working to teach and educate their kids, but administrators who get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars a year doing nothing. We have janitorial services doing nothing. Utilities have gone down, but all of that has gone down and eroded. Sports facilities haven't needed to be maintained. They've got tens of millions of dollars sports complex here at Cheektowaga Central that was used for a year. Now it's just sitting there all idly. And this is replicated time after time after time. And they put these policies in place. Well, the policies are unconstitutional, and this is where we're taking it all back. We're targeting every single entity and agency, because right now, the way it is set up, it is completely un-American. It's set up to deprive you of your time, of your liberty, of your happiness, of your freedom, of your possessions, of your money. It's set up intentionally to do that. And how do I know that? Because across the state and also across the country, we have so many different models that work so much more effectively for people. And it allows them to have their peace of mind and their constitutionally afforded freedoms. And we have people on a team that are going to attack this and what they have done over the course of decades and decades and decades. We're developing the plan. A lot of the plan is developed already. So then when you have an individual like a terrorist, like Mark Poloncarz, who has slaughtered and murdered our family, he's executed them inside internment camps. Mark Odian, when you have somebody like a Mark Odian that supports that, a John Flynn that defends that, a Mark Burstein that espouses that, every day, and then steals from us hundreds of thousands of dollars. Those are attacks. Those are crimes on us, on the people. They don't see it that way, because the way they see it is that they are just doing their job and that they get paid. And there's a complete disconnect from them where their money comes from. Not realizing, good morning, Gene, what's up, brother? Not realizing that their money is coming from the 75-year-old just trying to figure out how to pay her $4,000 property tax bill for a property that anywhere else in the state or in the country may be at $500 or $600 for similar type services. But it's their money. They want it. They all want that money. And that's that disconnect. And that's where we are getting so much better. No longer are we, and they are terrified of this, guys. They are absolutely terrified of us organizing. And they are seeing it. And they are seeing it more and more rallies as our numbers go up. They're seeing it as they're no longer able to post lies in social media because people are descending on them in mass. They're seeing the media is getting the phone calls. They're getting the emails. Stop lying. Stop misrepresenting the truth. Good morning, Elijah. Merry Christmas, brother. Great to see you, sweetheart. They're no longer able to lie because they're being held accountable by hundreds of us, and what will ultimately be thousands of us, whose minds are open to free thought. We are able and capable to think for ourselves. And that's the biggest thing. What's going on, Amy? Great to see you, hon. And yeah, absolutely, Anna, you nailed it. Denise, what's going on, sweetheart? Great to see you. And the beautiful part about us is they want to call us this group of white supremacists. It's like we are made up of all ethnicities. As a matter of fact, we are made up of all, so many immigrants. They come to us and they go, we love the U.S. We love what the United States stands for. We love what you guys are doing with the parades. We love what you guys are doing with the protests. You need to do this because if you don't do this, they go, this is exactly what they did in my country. And I have dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of names of individuals who just immigrated here, illegal immigrants that are here illegally, people that have been here for 10, 5, 20, 30 years. They are like, we love you so much. Don't stop. They go, this is exactly what they did. They put these terrorist, leftist, radicalized organizations like Antifa, like Black Lives Matter, like Western New York Liberation Collective, Peace Center, these women, this little women's group that they've got, Mark Odian, Mark Poloncarz, they all work together. John Flynn, Gail Burstein, they go, this is exactly how they tore down our country and how they put in socialism and then communism. And this is why my family was killed and I had to escape with my 4 children. And then I came here and then they vilified me even when I was here because I came to America thinking America was free and sovereign. And it turns out it's not because of people like Mark Poloncarz, like Cuomo, like Gail Burstein, like all of the individuals who are in charge of these government agencies, and not even the people who are in charge, but the people that work within these government agencies, these business owners that are forcing you to wear masks. They're discriminating against you. They're being bigots. They're being prejudiced against you. And they don't even see it. They don't even see, good morning, Jim. Great to see you, brother. They don't even see how absolutely terrible that they're being. They threaten, they harass, they menace, they shame, they intimidate. They threaten to fire you from your job. Or they call in because, Mark Poloncarz, the most dictatorial thing you can do, weaponize the neighbors against one another. But he's not Stalin. He's not Nazi. He's not a Hitler. No. Let's just look at their playbook. That's what they do. So at Tailgate in the Square, great assembly of people. And Antifa got what they deserved. They did. Every single person that was there got what they deserved. Why did they get what they deserved? Because they have been terrorizing, looting, vandalizing. They've been trespassing. They've been smashing, assaulting, battering, assailing people, verbal assaults, spitting vitriol. We've got the pictures. We've got the video. All the same people occupying streets where they're kicking at cars and punching at cars and just hate everybody, like a Paul Harvey. And what did they decide to do on Saturday? They decided to attack Stefan Mihailu. That's what they decided to do. It's all on camera. You can't make it up. But what the news and Mark Odian and these radical terrorists on the left try to do is they try to take a piece out of context. Isn't it funny? Hey, good morning, Cody. Isn't it funny how they always say that what we're showing is out of context? But when they do it, it's fine because they need to tell a story, right? They need to tell the actual factual story. They descended on Stefan. They started pushing up against him. And Stefan maintained his composure. You can see it in the video. He's like, whatever. He goes, man, I'm a lion. You're a sheep. Get away from me. And that's what I wanted to say earlier. The speeches that those guys gave, all of those guys, good morning, Ralph, the guy that they gave, they were more inspired and passionate than I have ever seen any of them. And it was amazing to see and to hear and to listen. So when we have our next protester rally, which is going to be for the next football game, guys, you've got to come out. I mean, these guys they see everybody around, and now they have been passionate freedom fighters forever and ever. But now it's not just a fire; it's an inferno that is lit under their ass. And Dave DiPietro, blah, 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 Stefan, blah, 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 just one person. It was incredible. Jim Ostrowski and Steve, it was just awesome listening to them be like, no more. We're amazing. Just amazing to see. And I love it. So they attacked Stefan. Mistake. It was a mistake. Watchmen were there. Proud Boys were there. Now, the Antifa and Black Lives Matter and Surge and Western New York Liberation Collective and people that Mark Poloncarz asked to defend his house, and then Mark Odian, who Mark Poloncarz gave $10,000 to, that no money went to any veteran-owned business unless they were a leftist that supported Poloncarz, and we're waiting for the FOIL requests. We probably won't get those, but we're putting information together ourselves, who was able to receive what. Mark Odian, a leftist terrorist a writer, he received $10,000, and then he puts the call out to terrorists like Antifa. But now they're trying to package them up differently, right? And the only thing that I could say is this. Great job for caroling. Like, they have never, ever, ever. That is great. Oh, that is awesome news, Ralphie boy. Great job. So Ralph Galuzzi just said that 41 restaurants just filed a suit yesterday. That's what needs to happen. That's the only way it's, start to come back. But then use Small Business Coalition with everything else that's going on. But these class action suits are a huge part of it. That's great, Ralph. Congratulations, man. I love it. So, Vanessa, good morning. And absolutely, exactly, that's right. Vanessa, you're right. And we're no longer in that position. Lisa, Ralph, I'm so happy for you guys, man. Thank you, whoever put that together. That is huge. That is great. Representing 41 restaurants is huge. Rather than each individual business and restaurant going out and having to spend tens of thousands of dollars on an attorney to do it, this is the way that you do it. This is the way you empower people. And I support and applaud anybody that did it individually. That's great. Whatever you felt you needed to do, that is awesome that you did it that way. But in my opinion, having 41 restaurants, like a Hogan Willig. Charles, what's going on? Good to see you. Like a Hogan Willig doing the class action suits and getting people to invest, with multiple businesses. So that's so encouraging, Ralph. And I hope that you guys inspire so many others to do that. So, but look we have, guys, Ralph just said, Ralph Galuzzi just jumped on the Hogan Willig suit, and everyone can get in. So if you want in, contact Ralph Galuzzi, Raphael's restaurant in Hamburg, or go to Hogan Willig. I'm not exactly sure where Hogan Willig is, but look up Hogan Willig. It's going to be easy to find. God, I love that. I love it. And then all these attacks, individual lawsuits, multiple lawsuits, Small Business Coalition, empowering, educating, doing everything that we're doing. That is what the left has never seen before. And they are terrified because it is an arsenal. It is a fleet, in multiple fleets, attacking them, coming after them, descending upon them from every angle you can possibly imagine. And I love it. That's so awesome. But what I was talking about, trying to get back to it. So anyway, Mark Odian and what he does, with his $10,000, and I'm sure that money went away for ho-hos and whatever else it did. Mark Poloncarz stealing $800,000, giving some money to Antifa, scraps, pittance to give to Antifa to have them show up and terrorize people. It's just insane. And now we are connecting all the dots, and we're putting together the story so that the media is working with us as well. We have members of all media outlets looking at it going, oh, whoa, well, that doesn't look right. So you mean Mark Poloncarz posted this plea for counter-protesters. Then Mark Odian took it, who Mark Poloncarz paid $10,000 to out of a $20 million grant, or money that was supposed to go to small businesses. Why did Mark Odian qualify? And then Mark Odian puts another call out to, because he's a known terrorist, he's a known fascist, he's a known leftist and radical leftist. And then he puts the call out in Antifa, who we have all of this video and all of these pictures kicking, terrorizing, punching, dragging, assaulting, attacking businesses, looting, burning. All of these same people that are now peaceful. We had all those videos. We have all those pictures. And then we have a nice picture of Poloncarz doing what he did. And then we have a nice video and pictures for the whole county to see. Every chance we get of the same members that were attacking, that Poloncarz and Mark Odian and Gail Burstein and John Flynn were protecting this entire time. That same radicalized group, that group of terrorists that were attacking small businesses, threatening to go into neighborhoods. We got all the video. Go into their neighborhoods. Go into the burbs. Take it away from there. Don't be in the city. We've got it all. And what are they doing? They're standing there protecting Mark Poloncarz's house. Because the house that he doesn't live in, because I think Mark forgets the lies that he tells. Mark Odian, you better help your buddy Mark. Well, I don't live there. I do, my neighbors. I don't live there. My house, come protect my house. I don't know if you live there or not, but man, get your story straight. What a beautiful picture of those same people that were terrorizing. Terrorist organization, all of our neighborhoods, our businesses, shutting us down, telling us what horrible people we are, telling people on social media to attack businesses because they're not wearing masks or they're remaining open. So Mark Poloncarz, and I'm sure the connections are going to come in. So Mark Poloncarz not only has his Gestapo that are terrorizing business owners and coming out when they're there with one person, and it just happened again. These cowards, from, the Department of Health and the couple of individuals from the Sheriff's Department, they show up when there's only a couple or one person. Cowards. And they've done it to hundreds of businesses. The same woman. She's going to be sued. This woman is going to be sued. The men are going to be sued. The sheriffs, they're going to be sued. Absolutely going to be sued into oblivion. We're getting their names, we're getting their addresses, and they will be protested. It will be more than protests at their house. They are going to be stripped of their job. If they're lucky, it's just going to be their job. But they will be stripped of their title, and then what should happen is they will be charged criminally. For war crimes, for crimes against humanity, for hate crimes. Each and every individual will be charged with those crimes and prosecuted accordingly. They have stolen hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars, and imposed ridiculous mandates on these businesses and these small business owners. All while doing nothing to the essential businesses, right? Good morning, Celestine. So, the group of people that we have assembled is just brilliant and beautiful, and it's no longer reactionary. It is take everything back. Hit them with everything that we have, legally and lawfully. Tear down the tyrants. Stop the terrorism. Stop taking our money and funding known terrorist organizations, known radical leftist communist organizations. Why? And again, I'm going to re-emphasize this, reiterate it. Illegal and legal immigrants today, yesterday, last week, last month, last year, 10 years ago, they support us. Because they fled what you are trying to build. And they are the ones who have informed us, stop this. Do everything you can to stop this. This is exactly what they did. This is the exact playbook that they implemented when they did it to my country. Stop it. I will do everything that I can to help. So getting back to tailgate in the square, Paul Harvey got a couple of little boo-boos on his head. They attacked one of our smallest individuals that we had That's what Antifa and terrorists do. They went after the smallest member of the group. First off, they were throwing snowballs at children. We had women who were walking up, they were threatening children, young children. This peaceful group that Channel 7 and Channel 4 and Spectrum characterized, and Mark Poloncarz and Mark Odeon and Gail Burstein and other news sources, and they were terrorizing children, grandparents, mothers, and fathers. Threw snowballs at them. They took these peaceful protesters, threw smoke bomb in. They had wands that they were hitting people with, and they had tasers that they had. So what happened? The peacekeepers came in. Brian, what's up? What's up, brother? Linda, good morning. So what happened? They came in and they de-escalated it instantly. Police weren't there. Buffalo police weren't there. Now, Buffalo police, to their credit, did a good job. Not a great job. They did a good job when they got there to try to, keep everybody together. And I was discussing with the lieutenant. I said, hey, this is what needs to happen. This is what is happening in other cities. This is what's happening in D.C. So you're putting your law enforcement officers at risk by sending them and standing them like this. You have to adjust what you're doing. And he wouldn't adjust. And that was okay. I give him a ton of credit. All that Buffalo PD, I love them. Love every single person that was there, man and woman, that lieutenant, the captain, everybody that was there. Love them. I've seen them before, first name basis. Love and support and adore everything that they did to protect not just us, but Antifa from themselves as well. Because they were attacking grandmothers, grandfathers, young children, 5 and 6 years old, throwing snowballs at them, just being maniacs, swearing, all kinds of vitriol and hate coming out of their mouths. But they're peacekeepers. They're peaceful. And, Buffalo PD set up a line, did a great job. Now, what Buffalo PD can do is learn to stay tighter. You have to stay tighter because people were coming through. And you have to cordon off them, Antifa, the terrorists, the known terrorist organization. You have to quarantine them off because what was happening was they were adding members. But here's the thing. A week before, at Poloncarz's house, they had 46 people. And then at Tonawanda, they probably had about maybe 60 people, however many they had. That day, they had 20 to 30 at best. Their numbers are getting depleted. And the reason their numbers are getting depleted is because the FBI is finding out who these terrorists are, and they are disseminating, or they are taking care of them. Then internally, there's so much strife. They hate each other. They're arguing with one another all the time. Nobody can build their numbers up because they're just hate-filled. Paul Harvey is just a maniac out of his mind. And nobody wants to be a part of that. They're like, you guys are saying that you're a peacekeeping mission, but you're wearing helmets, you're wearing black helmets, black goggles, you got these black masks on, you got all this black, you just look stupid. But you're the peacekeepers, you got hammers, you got pipes, but you're the peacekeepers. These people don't have that stuff over here on this side. They don't have pepper spray, they don't have smoke bombs. None of us had that stuff. That's what they did. And it had to be de-escalated because children were being attacked. You had mothers and fathers being attacked, grandmothers, grandfathers being attacked. That's what was happening in our videos. And that's one of the things. We keep videos. We have people there specifically to take all the video. We have attorneys that are there that are watching over everything and monitoring everything. We have people on Facebook Lives. We have people taking pictures from all different vantage points so nothing can be misconstrued. And the reason we do that is we are the true peacekeepers. We want it to be peaceful. How many times you guys have seen me stand with my flag or stand there with my back to them? You can be in there is no position that is less threatening than that. I put myself in between the group and I put myself in between them. And how many times have you heard me say, how do we respond? We love you. I love you. God bless you. God bless America. That's what we all say. To a person, we say that to them. No matter how angry and hate-filled they are coming at us, we love you. We love you. We're not going to engage it. There was an individual driving around in a car, and he had Black Lives Matter, and I go up to him, and he, yeah, who is this? Who is this group? I go, hey, how you doing? Do you want to have a conversation? Civil? And I can stand here with you. No, you guys are idiots. And then the horn, and saying all kinds of things going around. You're the one that looks like a maniac, dude, not us. We're sitting here having food, we've got kids together, we're talking, we're peacefully assembled, and you're acting like a maniac and a fool. And that's what Antifa and Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter is completely gone, guys. That's why they have to keep coming up with these new names. They keep coming up with these new names because nobody is supporting, no black people are supporting Black Lives Matter anymore. And any of these other ethnic organizations that are out there, Hispanic, Indian, Native American, they don't want these radicalized, crazy leftists like Paul Harvey and everybody else that, are members of this terrorist organization that Mark Poloncarz calls to help him and Mark Odian supports. Nobody inside their ranks wants to support that any longer. So it was de-escalated. It was de-escalated very fast. And, we had all of our people posted up, and we probably had about 150 to 200 of us that were there, and nothing was going to happen. And we were protected. We're safe. And then people ask me, well, Pete, aren't you worried about retaliation? Or, aren't you worried about them bringing other people from Rochester in? Guys, Rochester doesn't want anything to do with Buffalo. These people, these white supremacists that come in from the suburbs, they're all white kids. Angry white kids and angry white teachers. Nobody wants to deal with them. Nobody wants to be involved with them because they know how out of control they are, how out of their minds they are. Paul Harvey and some of the others, they were all, you could tell they were on drugs that day. On a Saturday morning where we came to peacefully assemble and call for businesses to open. And the worst thing that they had on me was they said that I didn't pay my registration. I'm like, my registration's paid. I got the registry. But I don't even feed it. The one guy started talking, he said something about white shirts. If you guys are even wearing white shirts, shows you how supremacist you are. And I looked right at him. I go, man, you got to get some better material. I'm like, you got to get better material. And he looked at me and he was like, you think? And he was like, oh. And that was kind of funny, honestly. I give that guy credit. I give him a ton of credit because he looked at me and he's like, oh, you're right. So there was that moment that was kind of funny between us. And then the memes and the videos and the music, those are hilarious. I love it when they make that stuff. And it's creative, it's always creative. And I don't get to see a lot of it, but the stuff that I do get to see that people send to me is just awesome. And I really enjoy it a lot. It's so creative. But stop being violent. And I love and I applaud the fact that they are now caroling. I don't care if they're caroling at the holding center. I mean, they need it, right? Those are still people. Even though they have committed crimes and they've done something bad. Steven, what's up? Frank, what's up, brother? Apple, what's up, bro? They're still people. And they still need some love. So, them singing to them. This is a second caroling event that I think they're doing. I applaud that. That is great. If we've inspired them to go caroling, that's awesome. How great would it be for all of us to come together and carol? Paul Harvey ain't going to deal with that, though. Mark Poloncarz and Mark Odian definitely ain't going to deal with that. And we know the other radicalized members of the group because I've had people that I know inside the group. I still do know people inside the group that are high up. And they tell me just how bad the organization is. Surge and Push and One Society, Western New York Liberation Collective, local Antifa and local BLM, the members that I know inside those organizations that have left because of how radicalized and leftist that they are and how terrorist, the plans are. And the things that we see on the street, guys, are just what they talk about behind closed doors, and we know it all. We know exactly what they want to do. We know what they want to bring to the table. We know how they want to hurt people because the people that I know and have known that have left the group, they're like, I can't be a part of this. I see what's coming. But their numbers right now are so deflated because they're eating themselves. That's what's happening. So what is the other option that they have? Escalated violence with vehicle, escalated violence with, some type of weapon. And is that out of the question? No, let's be honest. I'd be irresponsible if I'd be telling you it's not. The type of people that we are dealing with are not mentally stable. They need to be put away. And, we will be there protecting everybody. We inform law enforcement every single time we're somewhere. We're going to be here. We're going to be here. We also know that this Antifa and Black Lives Matter organization are going to be there. This is who they are. Here are the pictures. Here's how they behaved and conducted themselves. We provide that information to them. They go, yep, we know, we appreciate it, thank you. We work very well with local law enforcement. Every single law enforcement agency, we work extremely well with them. From Buffalo to East Aurora and everything in between and beyond. Sheriff's Department included state troopers. They appreciate and respect us because we have always been peaceful. From March, we've been peacefully assembling. And then we are always giving them the information, letting them know where we're going to be, how many people are going to be there. So Buffalo, or police departments will be there on hand, but police departments, and again, I know lieutenants, I know captains, I know detectives, all different types of law enforcement officers that I know. And they have conversations with me and they go, Pete, what we are instructed to do drives us crazy. They go, we would be standing right there with you to take these scumbags down. We would be doing that. We want to do that. We need to do that, but we can't. They go, 90% of our department is with us. We have the few people in leadership roles that don't feel the way that we do. And then they order us to behave accordingly and stand down while we watch these people attacking, throwing snowballs, hitting kids, swearing at mothers, swearing at fathers, grandfathers, attacking their vehicles, setting their businesses on fire, looting, rioting. They have told us to stand down. If we don't stand down, we risk losing our jobs. How horrible is that? Horrible. So that's what really happened. And then afterwards, we went to Deep South Taco and we supported Richard and his business over there on Ellicott Street. Had an amazing time. Food was incredible. Strongly recommend it. He said, I'm staying open. I don't care. Had the patio all set up. The Bills game was on. Watched that. Congratulations to the Bills. I'm torn, and I got to let you guys go because I have somebody coming over. But I'm going to get back to it in the afternoon. I'm torn on that. But here's the funny thing. Josh Allen, you guys know, love his abilities on the field. The team, the Bills, everything that they have done, great stuff. But what have they done? Constant psychological warfare. They're supporting everything with the mask mandates, right? They'll wear the masks everywhere that they can. They'll talk about getting vaccinations. They support Black Lives Matter in droves, hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars to those terrorist organizations that are espousing terrorism. Criminals that started them, we know that. They have been corrupted and co-opted by terrorist organizations. And everybody in BLM knows that. And that's why you don't see many black people in BLM anymore. But here the NFL is giving all that money out. Social distance, the visual of stadiums completely empty, just constantly hammering the narrative. Be scared, be afraid, be terrified, live in fear. Constantly hammering on that. So the Bills, for the first time in 20, 25 years, they take what? They take the AFC East title. Awesome. That's great. 5,000 people assemble. I know because my buddy was down there. Brian was down there. He invited me down there, and I'll talk about this tomorrow. Or later. I'll talk about it later. I'll come back on later. He wanted me to come down, and I was torn. I really wanted to be there bad. And he said there were thousands and thousands of people down there. Music was playing. It was a party. I saw the videos. Great, great, great time. And then Josh Allen. What does Josh Allen do? Josh Allen, who's telling people to wear masks, all of a sudden not so afraid, right? And other members of the football team, not so afraid. And, Mark Poloncarz is saying, it's okay, it's the fans, Just a couple of days before, Andrew Cuomo is saying that, we may open the stadium up for, the playoffs, which we call that. And now all these people can assemble, not wearing any masks, not social distancing, not doing any of that stuff. Josh Allen taking pictures right up next to him, and nobody's scared. There's no conflict there. And the virus is that smart that it knows that that's a Bills rally. And it's not going to infect anybody. So, it just the contradiction, the double standard, the double speak is just, it's infuriating. I did see something, though, that said, I know, David, and a lot of us are on board with that as well. I did see something, though, which was pretty funny. They said that the reason the Bills are so good this year is because it's a COVID year and a pandemic, and that if it wasn't, that the Bills fans, with them being that good, would have lit Ralph Stadium on fire and burned it to the ground, which is probably true. So, but anyways, just found it odd. Hey, it's totally safe. 5,000 people assembled, taking pictures. What's up? No worries, no fear there. I don't know. Could it be that maybe there's nothing to fear in the first place? Or nothing that we should be fearing anyways. So odd that our groups, we've been getting together for 9 months and we don't have anybody that's contracted it. You have a handful of people that have gotten it. It's so weird. 99.98 survival rate. So weird. That's all people. People elderly with underlying conditions, 99.98 overall. That's survival rate. It's crazy. And if you win the AFC East title, you're immune. You're automatically immune if you win the AFC East title. You can assemble all you want. You're totally fine. You're completely safe. I do have to get going, though, guys. I got to cut a little bit short. Just wanted to say, what else happened? Oh, briefly, thank you for Brian and everybody that showed up. Members of Watchmen, Proud Boys, Save Our Seniors, Marching Patriots, Rolling Patriots, Breathe Free, Save Our Seniors, that showed up to Tonawanda Twin Towers on Sunday. We did a beautiful serenade to them. It started around 11:30. Rooster got there a bit early. Great sound system. Thank you so much to Rooster for doing what he does each and every time. And then everybody that was there to sing and gather. We probably had about 40 or 50 people. A little bit disappointing, but I think there's a little bit of fatigue, the holiday fatigue. Plus, there's been a lot of events that we've had going on. But a great time. We were singing. Residents came out onto the street. They were dancing with us. And they got their moves. And, we were doing dancing with them. And just the smiles and the tears and the happiness in their faces it was just so great. Absolutely loved it. And it was perfect. But at the end, and I got to close it on this, at the end, what happened was they were so happy, and we got together in prayer. And I said, guys, you can stay there, and we're going to be over here, and we're going to be praying over here in a circle. This is how we do it. And with the walkers, fearless, walking down, walking up, like, whatever, I don't care. And standing hand in hand with one another, praying, coming together as a family, as a community. And it was just absolutely beautiful. Cody, God bless, brother. Have a great day. I'll come back a little bit this afternoon because I do have some other things to talk about. But I love you guys very much. Enjoy the rest of your morning, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.